What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the Evasion mode Optimus Prime from the upcoming Age of Extinction movie. And yeah, I saw this guy at the store and I kind of wanted to pick him up anyway. And yeah, so I grabbed him. And I've been watching what people have been saying online, like he's so nostalgic and all this stuff, and I can't say I quite understand that logic. Outside of the fact that, surprise, surprise, when he transforms, he has a G1 style, you know, truck. But if that's all it takes, why not just buy a model for around the same price, which will probably be a bigger truck than this. But, I don't know. That's just me. A quick look at his head. It is super goofy looking, which is one of the reasons that I was really into this toy. Like, I don't know. The face just is really funny looking to me. Behind his head there, you got two little crappy smokestacks that don't look like smokestacks because there was no paint put on them. So, yeah, they just look like two things sticking up. You definitely need to paint them if you're going to do that. Outside of that, I don't know, it looks okay when you come down from the chest to the torso here. It doesn't really look right. I mean, the wheels help mask it a bit more, but something doesn't feel right down here. That's probably one of my biggest gripes of this toy. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I'm more used to, you know, or more into my bots that have the filled out crotch section like that, so it looks more complete. This just doesn't do it very much for me. And I don't feel like the Revenge of the Fallen Prime, who I kind of hold the standard of the Optimus Prime for movies, has this problem. It just, this feels weird. Coming down the knees here, make sure you pull out these little pegs. Otherwise, when you try to rotate it, they get caught. And all the way down there, we got our usual, you know, movie mashup feet here. So let's talk about articulation a little bit here. His head is on a swivel and a rotational joint here. So you get a pretty large range of motion out of Optimus. You can convey that he's a little bit angry. Clear light piping in the eyes, which I don't quite understand. I would have thought that pretty much any other color would have been good, well, aside from red. Down to the arms articulation, you get the 360 at the shoulder because of the rotation, and then you get the ratcheted swivel here, a elbow rotation, and then what I think is probably the strangest elbow joint ever. Granted, why would you go down that far? But yeah, so when he has his arm up, if you wanted to hold his gun, it really doesn't look very good because it looks like you just forgot to transform him because it's the whole back of the truck. So there's nothing else you can do to make that look cool. For instance, like, say, like if I'm going to have him hold his gun, you know, let's zoom out here, like that, this doesn't look right. Something looks wrong, and it's because of that joint. I mean, it's nice kind of how it, you know, from at least this angle, it kind of masks everything a little bit better, but it just doesn't look good this way. So to me, that elbow is, you know, not really good for anything else besides when his arms are like that. Coming down the waist, you do have the rotation. The wheels can go out of the way so you can, you know, get it 360 if you want to. So the hips are on your usual pivot down here and rotation here. And you can get them 360 if you just get things out of the way, and the wheels accommodate that. Down here on the thigh, there is a swivel to get that 360 if you so please. The knee, just a standard hinge joint there. Coming down to his foot here, you get the rotation forward and backwards from that little joint it's on, and you actually do get some sideways. But it's kind of the wrong way sideways. Like, you don't really get a whole ton inwards, maybe just a tiny bit, but it doesn't really, like when you're trying to do something, it doesn't help him go bring his feet on in so it looks natural. It goes the other way, a fair degree, but that really doesn't make sense. So just kind of for some comparisons here, I don't have any of the other Age of Extinction toys. It's the only one I picked up, and one of the few I want to pick up. But here we go. There's Orion, because to me, if you want to be nostalgic, you get that one. or MP10, but Orion's on the desk. There we go. Chrome Dome. Yeah, let's just move on and get on with the transformation. And let me point out his gun here. It is designed so it can peg into the Voyager Megatron's hand. I don't have my Voyager Megatron handy. I was looking for him this morning and couldn't find him, so I can't show you that. But guess what? He holds it, so it looks a lot like Megatron holding this gun. I know, it's a surprise. So let's actually transform this guy and let's go to his nostalgic mode. And the only thing I find terribly fun about this transformation is this little swivel here. I really like how this leg piece all swivels up and in together. Outside of that, I don't find any of the rest of the transformation very fun. So I'll show you that again. You rotate this piece all the way around and the toe kind of folds back as it's coming down. I just think that's pretty cool. And you'll clip these two together like this and make him so he's sitting there like this. And now we get on to the rest of this bot. So we're going to take this and we're going to open this up. And if I don't want to forget it, so let me mention this smokestack now. There's no reason that they couldn't put another smokestack on the other side. They should have. I think that was really, I don't know, it's pretty dumb that they didn't put it in, and it leaves the bot or the truck mode looking a little bit weird. I don't know, I didn't notice if that's what it looked like on the movie trailer, but I really would have liked to have seen that second smokestack, and I feel like they just left it out to save like a penny. So after plugging the camera on in, let's actually get this thing going. We're going to take this top piece here and we're going to take it and fold it all the way out like this, and then take your smokestacks and just kind of rotate them down so you've made the front of the truck. And we're just going to leave that like this. You're going to come back here and let these panels fall because we need to get the centerpiece out, and sometimes it's easier to just push from this side to actually make it come out. And we'll get this and just kind of leave that all up like this. And now this is my least favorite part of the transformation. First we're gonna bring these little panels on up, and then the next thing we need to do is so you can see that this is the front of the truck, and this is going to be the window which needs to go here. You can see the whole side window assembly here. So we need all this stuff to come over like this, but we also need to rotate this panel on all the way around. So what you have to do, and you have to get everything really out of the way here, is kind of take this, and this is why it's not fun, because the pieces feel like they're all fighting for the same position. So you kind of bring his arm as forward as you can, bring it around here, and then once you have this like this, you kind of want to push this arm upwards while pushing this panel closed, and that should hopefully get it into the proper position for you, that you can kind of close it up like that. I don't like that. I think that it's not well engineered in that part. Like, it's interesting how all the pieces flip around and do things, but I also feel like it could have been done better. So anyway, we'll try that again for the other side here. And I mean, it really is, all the pieces are fighting for the same space, because when you rotate this over, suddenly the window is hitting this part of the hinge, and you know, then when you're trying to get in here, things are trying to, you know, these are trying to occupy exactly the same space because you need to move the arm all the way up, and you can see there's that little recess there. That's how you have to get it. So it's kind of, you know, almost feels like it's stressing the plastic a little to pull this on up and into position. But yeah, once you get it, then that's that, I guess. And you can take these, fold them on in, take his little smokestack, fold it on up. Again, no reason we couldn't have had to. Then we're coming down here, make sure that these are all the way out. Rotate this piece on up, and peg these on in. And these pegs are incredibly difficult to get out when trying to transform back. You kind of have to jam a finger in there and just keep trying until they pop out, because you'll think you're doing something wrong with the transformation. And then the final thing to do is to rotate his head all the way around here. Actually, we shouldn't have closed these back pieces yet. There we go. Get that around, make sure the top is pegged properly, and then just kind of close this in position. And there we go. We got a nice little representation of his G1 truck mode. But I don't know, it's pretty good. It's nice. If you really like the G1 truck mode, I can see why you like this. I just still think it'd be more interesting to get a model and, you know, make it yourself. You do have the weird looking trailer hitch, but it's not horrible, I guess. The gun can peg onto the roof if you so choose, which is a really crappy connection, because the way all this plastic is held together, when you try to get this on in, it just starts undoing transformation pieces. I don't really like it. Plus, that is the guns on the roof thing never did anything for me. So take that out. You can of course plug it into his feet if you so choose to have that offset, you know, gun. But for me, this is what I do with it. There we go. And yeah, this is pretty much how most people, I think, who buy this toy intend to keep this Prime, because if you're feeling nostalgic about it, it's certainly not for the robot mode. So to compare his size, let's put him next to something fairly relevant here. Here is a old Voyager Prime, and you can see, kind of close in overall size. This Prime is most definitely shorter, about the same height and stuff. And you got that G1 nostalgia, I guess, so, you know, he's okay compared to an old Voyager. But my problem comes when you get, like, your, you know, these new Voyagers, like, well, you know, he's the new Voyager now, but it just feels like there's so much more for the money for Sandstorm here, who is, aside from being taller, is just a bigger, more beefy toy, and it seems with more robust engineering, to be honest. So it makes him a little more disappointed. And this guy cost me $25, and I almost immediately regretted that purchase. Yeah, certainly if you're going for nostalgia, I don't know. If you can get this guy at clearance and you're just going to use it for the truck mode, then I say go for it. If you have a coupon, do it. But if you really want nostalgia, go with MP10. Like, he nails it. And the Year of the Horse one is on sale at a lot of Toys R Us's pretty frequently. It's gold, but there's much more nostalgia in this, and it costs at Toys R Us on sale, it's going for like $55, which is less than two of these. No, $5 more than two of these. I'm sorry, this one cost me $25, so yeah, $5 more than two Voyagers, and you could have this, which is way superior. So this is T2RX6. I don't know if there will be more Age of Extinction stuff coming. There's a couple things I want. I do want Hound, and I kind of want that Bumblebee because I like the alt mode, but I don't know how much more beyond that we might see, so you may or may not see more on my channel. Leave your comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think of this Optimus. Do you find him to be super nostalgic? Is he tickling you in all the right areas? Undeniably, I think this is the Optimus we all wish we got in the movieverse, where he was the classic truck with, you know, whatever you want to Michael Bayify the movies with the shards of metal everywhere. But, yeah, just, he's okay. He has a place in my collection, just, he's not really highly esteemed. I wouldn't save him from the fire first, that's for sure. So, this is T2RX6. I'll see you guys next week.